morning, everybody. It is 7:37 a.m. Pacific time on the 16th of January. Today's Thursday. Welcome to my trading journal. This is the Jigsaw day trader platform. These are just futures products. This is all trading on order flow. There's no charts or indicators or anything like that. It's just watching the inside market and responding accordingly very quickly from left to right. This is the Ultra bond all the way over here on the left. This is the 30-year bond. This is the 5-year note right here in the middle. This is the 10-year note here, and then this is the E-mini S&P all the way over here on the right. And in a normal, healthy market, when the ES is going up, these fixed income products are selling off and vice versa. That's what we'd like to see anyway, that negative inverse correlation. The overnight action was pretty narrow range. You had the high of 12.5, and then you had a low of 0.8. Since then, we've actually popped the overnight high and the overnight low. That came on some data. We had quite a bit of data that came out this morning. We had jobless claims. We had a business outlook survey, retail sales, export prices, business inventories, housing market index. They're all fairly bullish or neutral, which you can see the ES is up over 3,300 at this point. So it's we're still in just buy the dip mode constantly, which is fine by me. So areas of interest, kind of looking at a double bottom at this point. That's really the only thing I would be looking at. So when prices do get down to this level, I'm going to see how everybody responds. Still a pretty narrow range in the 10-year, definitely a narrow range here in the ES. It's like they're just probably low volume. I haven't checked it, but it's indicative of a low volume environment, which people just buy it right up. So I'm not expecting the ZN or the 10-year just to blow through the lows like crazy. I think it's contextually it's more of a trader's environment at this point. But we'll see. You never know. See, we are getting into the lows here. Sort of adjust this up, clean that. If we don't get a trade at the lows, like a double bottom, then we could look for a fade trade, bring this back up. Kind of like fade trades. It's starting to become my my second favorite or third favorite setup. You can notice the treasuries are at the lows pretty much, but we still, I mean, the Ultra bond's quite a few ticks off the lows, as is the 30-year, which is sort of interesting. Those are typically leading indicators or leading markets because they are a little bit thinner than these other markets normally. Let's see, what did I do yesterday? Yesterday, I actually did place one trade, which is I sold a profile step in the 30-year. And it went against me by one tick. I couldn't stand the heat. I scratched it, and it just proceeded to sell down pretty methodically after that. So I missed out on about a 7 to 8 tick winner. Maybe I'll put up that video. I just didn't think there was any, because I wasn't really talking a whole lot there. I just didn't see a lot of value to it. But I'll go back and look at it. I was a little distracted yesterday for sure. Today I have pretty much all morning to dedicate to this endeavor. So I will be here the entire time, whereas yesterday I had somewhere to be. All right, well, let's kind of want to see this fall in another tick or two. And I'd like to see the Ultra Bond at 30-year get down into the lows. But we'll see. Just do a quick pause, just save on file size and dead air, but I'll be back. Okay, well, this it actually fell in over here in the 10-year. We actually fell down into we went offer at 0.5 half. They started to trade down. You could see 16 down into 0.5, and then buyers stepped in pretty aggressively, which kind of leads, you know, it's consistent with my read of the context, where, you know, we're just getting into the lows. And buyers aren't afraid just to step up for really no reason, because the ES obviously hasn't moved more than one handle or two. Excuse me. So I'm just waiting for this thing to fall back in here. I might buy it at 0.5 half. I'd like to see one more push up in for the ES to push up into the highs and see if there's any sort of reaction down here. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. Also want to make sure this number doesn't keep getting higher and higher. Keep an eye on that, because that could just be sellers that are just suppressing any buying at that level and pushing it back down. Man, is there something that, let's see. That one's already done. This is because the ES is not moving at all. It's like a market that's just waiting for news, waiting for an announcement, and there's nothing coming out. Nothing that I see anyway. Nothing on the calendar, I should say. Yep, I think we missed it. Son of a bitch. I mean, the only option is to pay up here at, try to get filled at 6 even even that, I don't know. If point of control is kind of our target, we're only looking at a couple ticks. Yeah, I think we missed it. All right, just pause the video and I'll start it back up if this thing drops back in, hopefully. Okay, it's almost 8:15 a.m. Pacific time. We're down into the lows here on all these products. Or we've been in the lows and have bounced up, like the Ultra Bond 30-year came down into the lows, traded up a little bit. The 10-year ticked through the low. You can see 829 traded here. Keep an eye on this volume that's starting to print here at this level, and I want to see some absorption. The problem is that the ES is also trading at the lows, and you can always expect a bounce, as discussed previously. Just that sort of environment, the context that ES is just going to get bought up at the lows, which will put pressure on these guys to push through the lows. So this is not really what we like to see. I like to see the ES up into the highs at this point with all these products at their lows. So ideally, ES gets bought up into the highs, and we stay right where we're at. And we don't go anywhere until the ES drops in, and then this ZN starts to get bought up. You can see the Ultra Bonds pushing through the lows. 30 years at the lows. So I think everybody's expecting ES to start getting bought up, and so they're already just going to push this through the lows. And when that happens, it'll just blow right through. And then we can look at a fade, maybe back up. Just pause the video again until something comes up. It's 8:30 a.m. Pushing down, push through the lows as the ES started to catch a bid. Actually happened kind of before that. So the 30 years about 5 or 6 ticks through the lows. 10-year about 3 ticks. Just started to see buyers pick up the pace and kind of start pushing this back. So I want to keep an eye on this. I think they've kind of grown impatient with the ES not getting up into the highs. Still not a great scenario. Prefer to see, like I said previously, the ES up into the highs, because I think these guys might have some more room lower if when the ES does finally catch a bid and get up into the highs. So we'll see what happens. Just going to go ahead and take a shot here based on this volume that's kind of developing. Ultra Bond at 30-year is starting to push up higher. ES looks like they're kind of selling the VWAP today. Maybe this will continue to go lower. Maybe a little too slow on that one. Shit. Should have tried to get in a 30-year over here. All right, well, I missed it for now anyway. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get filled here in the 30-year. This is the previous low, more or less. And this is, okay, there we go. God, why is that not? Not my favorite trade. Not my favorite setup anyway, but just looking for this thing to continue to push down as the ES pushes up into the highs. This is basically the, like I said, this is more of a chart trade. I'm definitely wrong at like 0304, I would think. Might have been a little premature here, but I thought I saw seller step up, start to push his back down, but I guess I might have been mistaken. It's not wouldn't be the first time. Come on. Start getting some size in here. That bid went from 500 down to 200 into the 100s with only two contracts down. So that's good. So I'm moving this thing to break or to scratch, and it's mainly because of all this volume that's developing over here in the 10-year, and just lack of follow through and number of reasons. So we got the ES pushing into the highs. I was looking at this, and I should have actually, it went offer at evens, and I should have reversed my position. I thought about it, and I just was just slow to react. So it looks like I'm going to take a full stop loss here, most likely. Just a stupid trade. I hate continuation trades. I don't know why I even consider them anymore. There's some days they pay off pretty well. They actually can pay off really well, but I just don't think, I think today was just the context didn't, should have prohibited it. And I think I sat down today to trade. I was just insistent that I was going to make a trade, and that's the one I chose to make. When in reality, it was what I'm most comfortable with, which is buying back up, regression to the mean. If I would have taken that trade at 29 I was eyeballing earlier, it probably would pay out pretty well. But so it's 9:13 a.m. Pacific time. 3 tick loss, no biggie. Just kind of sucks a little bit. But I'll pause the video and we'll see if something else comes up. But we're getting to that time of day when things just kind of don't do anything. But you never know. Okay, we're back here. It's about 10:16 a.m. Pacific time. Really not a lot of movement on either side. We did get up into 3 I'm over here in the 30-year, and of course it slowed down right into my strike price, but it hasn't really gone any lower than that. Got into 31 very briefly and then rebounded. I'm going to buy this here just because of the context that I think we kind of just meander around in this area for a little while and then head back up to the point of control. Well, I missed that one too. I think I'm done. This thing isn't going anywhere anyway, and it's 10:20. Time to get my day started at the gym, whatnot. So, hasta mañana.